जय गोपीजनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधवा जय बिहारी जय यशोदानन्दना जय व्रज जनरञ्जना जय यशोदानन्दना जय व्रज जनरञ्जना जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। नरसिंह भगवान की जय। पंचतत्व की जय। षड गोस्वामी की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की गुरु। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Naranayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with translated songs, is established as an irrevocable right. So Hare Krishna Purvis Mataji's, welcome all of you. So I'll share the screen, so the verse which we are going to discuss today. So this is from 4th canto, 20th chapter, verse number 29. Bhajantyattatvam ateva sadho vidastamaya gunavibramodayam bhavatpadanusmaranadrite satam nimittamanyad bhagavan vidmahe bhajantyattatvam ateva sadho व्युदस्तमाया गुणविभ्रमोदयम् भवत्पदानुस्मरणादृते सताम् निमित्तमन्यद् भगवन्न विद्महे. Any, you want to recite? Anybody, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Mataji, carry on.
Carry on, Mataji. Next sloka I will do.
Hare Krishna. भजन्त्यथ त्वामत एव साधवो व्युदस्तमाया गुणविभ्रमोदयम् भवत्पदानुस्मरणादृते सतां निमित्तमन्यद् भगवन्न विद्महे. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, you can also recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. भजन्त्यथा त्वं मत एव साधवो व्युदस्तमाया गुणविभ्रमोदयम् भवत्पदानुस्मरणादृते सतां निमित्तमन्याद् भगवन्न विद्महे. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Go to synonyms, word to word meaning. Bhajanti, they worship. Atha, therefore. Tvam, you. Atha eva, therefore. Sadhavaha, all saintly persons. Vyudasta, who dispel. Maya guna, the modes of material nature. Vibhrama, misconceptions. Udayam, produced. Bhavat, your. Pada, lotus feet. Anusmaranat, constantly remembering. Rite, except. Satam, of great saintly persons. Nimittam, reason. Anyat, other. Bhagavan, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na, not. Vidmahe, I can understand. Translation and purport by Divine Guest Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please hear the translation and purport. Great saintly persons who are always liberated, take to your devotional service, because only by devotional service can one be relieved from the illusions of material existence. Oh my Lord, there is no reason for the liberated souls to take shelter at your lotus feet, except that such souls are constantly thinking of your feet. Purport. The karmis are generally engaged in fruitive activities for material bodily comforts. The jnanis, however, are disgusted with searching after material comforts. They understand that they have nothing to do with this material world, being spirit souls. After self-realization, the jnanis who are actually mature in their knowledge must surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Self-realization is not complete unless one comes to the devotional platform. Therefore, it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that those who are Atma Rama, self-satisfied, are freed from all contaminations of the material modes of nature. As long as one is affected by the modes of material nature, especially by Rajas and Tamas, he will be very greedy and lusty and will therefore engage in hard tasks, laboring all day and night. Such false egoism carries one from one species of life into another perpetually, and there is no rest in any species of life. The jnani understands this fact and therefore ceases to work and takes to karma sannyasa. Yet this is not actually the platform of satisfaction. After self-realization, the material wisdom of the jnani leads him to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he is satisfied only in contemplating the lotus feet of the Lord constantly. Prithu Maharaj therefore concluded that liberated persons taking to the devotional path have acquired the ultimate goal of life. If liberation were the end in itself, there would be no question of a liberated person's taking to devotional service. In other words, the transcendental bliss derived from self-realization, known as Atmananda, is very insignificant in the presence of the bliss derived from devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Prithu Maharaj therefore concluded that he would simply hear of the glories of the Lord constantly and thus engage his mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. Jai Srila Prabhupada's transcendental purport ki Jai. Om Jnantamrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Subhadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् स्वगणलिता श्रीविशाखातांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयते किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणानमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं माधवम्। नमो विष्णुपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीमती नामिने नमो विष्णुपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीभक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने निर्विशेषशून्यपाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम। So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's Matais. Thank you for joining and keeping your appointment with Krishna today, 24th of December 2025. And today we will be discussing verse number from 4th canto, 20th chapter, verse number 29. See, actually in this chapter, no, which is entitled Lord Vishnu's Appearance in the Sacrificial Arena of Maharaj Prithu. Actually, from verse number 23 up to 31, Prithu Maharaj prayers. These are Prithu Maharaj prayers, very wonderful prayers. So, we already been discussing, no, 23, 24, today is 29th. So, see, the karmis are generally engaged in fruitive activities for the material bodily comforts. The Gyanis, they are disgusted with searching after material comforts. So they understand that they have nothing to do with the material world, being spirit souls. So that's why this we just saw in the purport, right? Purport was writing. And it says the Gyanis understand this fact, that therefore ceases to work and takes to karma sannyasa. See, in this age, it's Kali Yuga, right? No other yajna can be performed perfectly. It is not possible. See, first deficiency is there is no yajna, there is no brahmana, qualified brahmanas. Formerly, the brahmanas were so expert that by mantra, by just reciting the mantra, they ignite fire. And they would test. And they would see, putting one animal in the fire, they would take and make it again alive. So that is the test of the mantra. So by mantra, an animal is put into fire and comes out again with rejuvenated life. So people think that Ashwamedha Yajna are made for killing the animal. No, it was for testing the mantra of the Vedas. Whether actually being pronounced right, that was the test, properly pronounced. So, now because such Yajnik Brahmana is not there in this Kali Yuga, so all the Yajnas are forbidden. Even sannyasa is also forbidden in this age. Okay. Karma sannyasa. That's what he refers in this purport, right? See, the Vedic principle of sannyas is to give up this karma. Karma means yajna and take sannyas. To give up this karma, accurate. So, but Vaishnava sannyasa is tridandi sannyasa. There you can see that, right? That means the living entity is offering his body, mind and words for the service of Krishna. Tridandi. So Tridandi sannyasa can be accepted in this age, not otherwise. That's what Prabhupada says in all his classes. See, na artha vai cheha karma bhi. Bhagavatam says that this is not the purpose. The real purpose is to perform yajna, means to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But this process of yajna is not possible in this age. Therefore, Shastra gives us the injunction. Kalau nastyeva gatiranyata. Name Hare Nama Kevalam, right? So, Sanketa Prayar Yajna hi yajanti hi sumedasaha. So, these are the injunctions. Krishna Varanam Tusha Krishnam Asanga Pangastra Parshadame Gyehi Sankirtana Prayer Ijanti Vai Hi Sumedasah. 11.532 Bhagavatam says. So Sumedasah. Those who are possessing nice brain, they are not dull. See, because the yajna was performed in the Vedic Yuga. So we have to perform yajna again in the same style. But that is not possible. Because you cannot get even pure ghee, right? So many things, that is all the ingredients purely. It's not possible. Therefore Shastra says, Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Sumedasah. Those who are intelligent persons, they perform the Sankirtan Yajna as it is being done before. So Sankirtan, no other Yajna is possible in this age. But this can be done, Sankirtan, and anyone can take part in it. Even small children, right? This is the real Yajna. See, nowadays, accepting sannyasa life is also forbidden in this Kali Yuga. Because nobody can actually follow strictly the rules and regulations. And neither anybody has any inclination to accept the sannyasa. So in this age, sannyasa is sometimes is forbidden, right? But if you ask, why you have taken sannyasa, this is known as karma sannyasa, right? Whereas Vaishnava sannyasa, because they still have something in mind. See, Vaishnava sannyasa means anyone who gives up everything and devotes simply his time for pushing on Krishna consciousness movement. He is also a sannyasa, right? See, it is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita. Sas sannyasi cha yogi cha anashita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha. 6.1 Bhagavad Gita says, one who is working anashita karma phalam, without any desire to enjoy the fruits of his activity, right? So these sannyasis, they are working for Krishna. They have no desire to make any profit out of it. Other sannyasis, they are making profit. They want mukti, moksha. But Vaishnava sannyasis, they do not want any, even moksha also. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the ideal sannyasi, he says, Mama janmani janmani shvare bhavatat bhakti radhai tuki tuhi. He never claimed, I may not have any more birth. Moksha means one who hasn't got to take birth of this material body. That is called moksha. So Vaishnava sannyasi, they do not want even moksha. They have no demand. So that sannyasi is different from the ordinary sannyasis. Ordinary sannyasi, he has demand. He wants mukti. But Vaishnava sannyas, either he is in sannyasi dress or not in sannyasi dress, doesn't matter. Simply because his aim is and object is to satisfy Krishna. Therefore he is sannyasa. Anashita karma. He has no shelter of the work that he is doing for Krishna, right? So it's not that I shall work in this way and there will be some good result, I will enjoy it. See, other sannyasis, they are thinking like that. Like, I will do austerities, penances severely. I shall go to Himalayas, execute very rigid all the principles of sannyasa. But as a result of this, I will get liberated, mukti. Therefore, he has got demand. He will be demanding, no? So that is not full actual sannyas, right? That is karma sannyas. So sannyasi and that sannyasi and this Vaishnava is different. Anashita karma phalam. Karyam karma karoti sannyasi. So this sannyasi can be accepted even in grahastha life. Even in householder life. Because, see, in one sense, they are working for Krishna. No other desire. As a grahastha is working for Krishna, no other desire. So they are all sannyasis because they have no desire to achieve any result out of their work. The only thing they want is Krishna bhakti. How Krishna can be satisfied? How Krishna will be satisfied? And they are engaged in preaching work because they want to satisfy Krishna. So Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mahamekam sharanam vraja. 18.66 Bhagavad Gita, he says. So, the householders, they are teaching all over the world the same principles, same philosophy. Please surrender to Krishna and you will be happy. This is the message, right? So they have no other message. Therefore, anashita karma phalam karyam karoti. They are all sannyasis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted that sannyas. So we are maintaining that system, Prabhupada says. But actual point of sannyasa is not mukti. but satisfy Krishna. That is sannyasa. How Krishna will be satisfied? How Krishna's representative will be satisfied? Now, because we have to work under Krishna's representative, right? So anything we work, if we want to be an expert, we have to work under some expert. Therefore, we accept Guru. See, we do not serve Krishna directly. We accept Guru. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. The principle is Guru. Is the representative of Krishna. And if we work under Guru and if we can satisfy Guru, then Krishna is satisfied. So this we can understand, right? Suppose in the office, if you are working under some officer, okay. But the CEO is there. But you're not working under directly the CEO, you're working under some officer. But your pay, your promotion, everything will be considered by the CEO on the recommendation of this officer under whom you are working. So when the officer will say, yes, this man has worked very nicely, then your increment of pay, promotion, immediately will be accepted by the CEO. So Shastra says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. So if you can satisfy your spiritual master, then you must know that you have satisfied Krishna. Because he is a representative of Krishna. Just like that officer is, right? You are working under him. So if he says it's all right, Krishna says it's all right. Although you have never seen Krishna directly. So yasya prasada na gati kutopi. So if the spiritual master says, oh, you are doing nothing, then you are gone. All your labor is spoiled. Na gati kutopi. You have no other shelter. So this Paramahamsa stage, right? Tata Paramahamsana Muninam Atma Amalatmanam. 1820 Bhagavatam says, Amalatmanam. Amala means without any dirty things. Paramahamsa means, see, what is a dirty thing? See, dirty thing is to have any even slight desire for enjoying this material body. That is called dirty. Amala. Everyone is samala. Samala means with dirty things. Amala means completely no dirty things, no contamination. So karmi, jnani, yogi, everyone is infected with dirty things. Why? The karmis, they want, I shall be elevated in the heavenly planet, I shall enjoy their beautiful wife, beautiful woman. That is their ambition. See, as the people are working very hard, everyone wants very comfortable life with good bank balance, good house, good wife, good children. That is their ambition. So that is karmi. No other ambition. Karmi. And similarly, Jnani. See, when the Jnani sees that is good wife, good family, money, house, is nonsense. It will not stay, but for some years I can enjoy. Then it will be all vanquished. They are Jnanis. They now understand. It is not permanent. They know how things are happening. Therefore, they want mukti. But the point to understand is they still want something, right? Now I have given up all this. I don't want this material happiness. So now I shall merge into the existence of the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is the Supreme Enjoyer. So if I become one with Him, then I shall enjoy. The same enjoyment spirit is there also to merge into the Supreme. It is in a different way, right? Karmis are directly trying to enjoy sense enjoyment. And here they are indirectly wanting another higher status of sense enjoyment. And similarly, yogis also. They want to play some like jugglery, magic words, right? See, there are 8 kinds of yoga siddhis, correct? You will find some showing yoga siddhis, some magic. They just create something out of thin air and they say, oh, he is God. So this is the point. So there are many persons. They are producing so many things. So why he is not God? Foolish people have no sense. They are captivated by this yoga siddhi. So they want yoga siddhi. If some foolish person gather, then he gets sense enjoyment, right? So that is another type of sense enjoyment. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is said that Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. They are not Paramahamsas. So Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam. So Amalatmanam means when there is no more dirty things. See, karmis, they have dirty things, sense enjoyment. Jnanis, they have got also. So one may say that mukti is dirty thing. Yes, according to Vaishnava conclusion, it is dirty. Because, see, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakura, he said, Kaivalyam Narakayate. Kaivalya means to become one with the Supreme. Mukti. It is exactly like hell. Kaivalyam narakayate tridasa purakasha pushpayate. So these heavenly planets, objective to karma is that is like flower in the sky. So they get so much of yoga siddhi because first business is to indriya, right? To sense enjoyment. So one has to practice. The first practice is controlling the senses. So anyway, our point is that Paramahamsa means one who has no such dirty things in the heart. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. They are all dirty things. Bhukti means mental enjoyment. Mukti means, again, merge into existence, Supreme Lord. So, Siddhi means, again, Yoga Siddhi. So they are all dirty things. So a person with such dirty things, he's not a Paramahamsa. He may be a sannyasi, but he's not a Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means who has no dirty things. Anya abhilashata shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu Sheelanam Bhakti Uttama 1:11 Bhakti Rasamrta. So all the bhaktas, those who are pure devotees, he is Paramahamsa. So Krishna comes to teach this highest science of devotional service to make people Paramahamsas. Not these dirty karmis, jnanis and yogis. Therefore Krishna's first condition says, Sarva Dharma Parityeja Mahamekam. Just surrender, you surrender to me. I shall make you a Paramahamsa. Then you will be able to see always Krishna. See, a man is disturbed with all these dirty things, right? He cannot understand Krishna. Rather difficult to understand. So, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaya Yatatam Mapi Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha. 7.3 Bhagavad Gita says. So, but we are, see, Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, we are trying to push on Krishna consciousness by the direction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, it may be possible by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is a very difficult subject matter. So, we have seen this chapter in Prithu Maharaj's prayers also. How Prithu Maharaj was seeking for millions of years to hear Krishna's glories. In the 24th verse we saw. So, in the 25th verse, he says, My dear Lord, you are glorified by selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like a saffron particles. So in this prayer, Prithu Maharaj glorifies the Lord as Uttama Shloka. So Prabhupada, he has beautifully translated this word as one who is glorified by choice poetry. Smriti means remembrance and Vismriti means forgetfulness. Since we have forgotten our eternal relationship with Krishna, what is happening? We are loitering in this middle world, birth after birth. And we hardly remember or recognize or appreciate the value of the human birth. As a result, we end up hearing and taking about every topic which is not related to Krishna. Isn't it? But somehow or the other, when we start hearing the glories of Krishna from the mouth of pure devotees in the parampara, then we will begin to realize the value of this human birth. There are 8,400,000 species of life. And this is the only birth where we can hear, where we can sing the glories of Krishna. So even after attaining this human birth, it is very rare to get the opportunity to hear about his glories. Please understand this point. So such glorifications are very pure and potent. That when we hear them from great devotees, we can remember our eternal relationship with Krishna. The remembrance of Krishna is the greatest blessing. Remembrance of Krishna is the greatest blessing. And forgetfulness of the Krishna is the greatest misfortune in life. Smartavyam satato Vishnu, vismartavyam na jatu chit. You must always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So this is the key instructions of all of scriptures. So just like Prithu Maharaj, let us all offer our prayers to the Uttama Shloka Lord and seek His mercy for giving us the opportunity to hear about Him from the mouth of pure devotees. Prithu Maharaj, by his personal example, is teaching us what should be our mood while we offer prayers to Krishna. He first made it very clear, Prithu Maharaj made it very clear that material benedictions would come for even people suffering in hell. Automatically it will come. So we need not ask Krishna explicitly for anything. The greatest benediction is to hear the glories of Krishna, and from the mouth of a pure devotee, and very attentively. So, what is the greatest benediction? Benediction 1. Hear the glories of Krishna. 2. From the mouth of pure devotees. And 3. Very attentively. We have heard, no, rapt attention. That's why he says in the 26th verse, my dear highly glorified Lord, if one in the association of pure devotees hears even once the glories of your activities, it does not, unless he is nothing but an animal, give up the association of devotees, for no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave their association. The perfection of chanting and hearing about your glories was accepted even by the goddess of fortune, who desired to hear of your unlimited activities and transcendental glories. See, the word Arya Sangame, this means in the association of advanced devotees. See, Prithu Maharaj very nicely glorifies the qualities of the Lord. He says that the Lord is Shivam, all auspicious, and Shushurava, highly glorified Lord. And he goes on to explain how the glories of such all glory supreme Lord needs to be heard in the association of pure devotees. So the word Yadrichya and Sakrit in this verse, they are worth meditating. Srila Prabhupada very nicely translates the word Yadrichya as some or the other. Some or the other. So many times our mind plays so many tricks to stop us or interrupt us from listening to Krishna Katha. Right? No. If you don't have the intense desire to come and hear Bhagavatam, then something else will come up. But you have, then Krishna will facilitate. So somehow or the other, if we force ourselves to hear the pure transcendental sound vibrations, we will be purified. Sakrit means even once. Just even once also you think about it. So somehow or the other, even once if we get the chance to associate with pure devotees and hear from them, then our life becomes sublime. Sublime. That's why our scriptures, they declare, Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi haya. By even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So Prithu Maharaj very nicely says that we would be in a position to appreciate the value of association of pure devotees only if we are intelligent and not an animal. Animal means not Pashu. See, Mother Lakshmi, who is always engaged in serving the Lord's lotus feet, is always eager to chant and hear the Lord's glories. So Maharaj Prithu points out that even the goddess of fortune, who is a constant companion of Lord Narayana, specifically wanted to hear about the Lord's glories. And for the association of gopis, who are pure devotees, the goddess of fortune Lakshmi underwent severe austerities. So the importance of hearing the glories of the Lord, chanting and association of pure devotees is also very nicely insisted by Kapila Muni in 3:29-18 of Bhagavatam, where he says, a devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. A devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he says his behavior should always be straightforward and simple. And although he is not envious but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. So 3:29-18, very nice verse. So if following the footsteps of Prithu Maharaj, we should always pray for good association, chanting and hearing glories of the Lord. Excuse me. See, the effect of good chanting and hearing of Krishna Katha is that we would feel more and more enthused and eager to serve Krishna and his devotees. So when we see that, when we are feeling that we are eager to serve more and more to Krishna and his devotees, that means that is a good, our chanting is very good and our hearing is also very good. So Prithu Maharaj in his prayers to Lord Vishnu, he sought for the benediction of hearing the Lord's glories in the association of pure devotees. Then Prithu Maharaj goes on to express his earnest desire to serve the Lord's lotus feet. Correct? That's what he says in 27th verse also. Now I wish to engage in the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to serve just like Goddess of Fortune, who carries a lotus flower in her hand Because His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. So, see, he says, I am afraid that the goddess of fortune and I would quarrel because both of us would be attentively engaged in the same service. That's what Prithu Maharaj is saying. Prithu Maharaj is nicely glorifying the Lord as Akhila Purushottama, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord for the entire creation. He is the best enjoyer, no? Gunalayam, the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. The word Lalasaha in this verse is also worth meditating, where Prabhupada has translated it as being desirous, Lalasaha. See, just like how the goddess of fortune, although always situated in Lord's chest, is desirous to or eager to serve the Lord's lotus feet. So we find Prithu Maharaj is also eagerly desiring to serve the Lord's lotus feet. And this eagerness is a very good sign. Now this word Lalasaha reminds us of the word Laulyam, which means to be greedy to serve. Now Prabhupada very nicely says in his lecture, greedy for Krishna. Tatra Laulyam Ekal Loe. Right? To get Krishna, you have only one price to pay. You have to pay a price, they said. One, that is to become greedy for Krishna. See, Laulyam, so to advance in spiritual consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness, the value is only strong eagerness. Laulyam. I must finish this business in this life to understand Krishna. See, we should not mistake that Prithu Maharaj is trying to compete with Mother Lakshmi. Both of them want to serve the lotus feet, right? In the material world, when two people are engaged in the same service, then there is a lot of room for competition, envy, right? See, in our childhood we might have heard the story of old father and his greedy sons. See, in order to get a big portion of the property, to make a show of taking care of the father, they have started pulling father's body when he was lying on the deathbed here and there. So instead of serving the father, they could give him only more pain. So, but in the case of Prithu Maharaj, his desire to serve the Lord's lotus feet, right? It's above all the modes. There is no modes in this. Prithu Maharaj desired to serve the Lord with the goddess of fortune. But this desire does not mean that he was situated on the platform of like pure rasa, madhurya rasa. See, goddess of fortune is engaged in the service of the Lord in the rasa, madhurya, conjugal love. Although her position is on the chest of the Lord, goddess of fortune, in her position as a devotee, takes pleasure in serving the Lord's lotus feet. Now, Prithu Maharaj was thinking only of the lotus feet of the Lord because he is on the platform of dasya rasa or servitorship of the Lord. See, in the next verse we can learn that Prithu Maharaj was thinking of the goddess of fortune as the universal mother, Jagan Mata. So there was no question of his competing with her on the platform of Madhurya Rasa, no chance. So he feared that she might take offense at his engaging in the service of the Lord. So this suggests that in the absolute world there is sometimes competition between servitors in the service of the Lord. But such competition is without malice. In the Vaikuntha world, if a devotee excels in the service of the Lord, others do not become envious of his excellent service, but rather aspire to come to the platform of that service. So this good lesson we have to remember, right, of Prithu Maharaj, that when we meet other devotees, we can aspire to serve like them, but should not perspire out of anger or envy. See, so we are seeing, right, Prithu Maharaj prayed for the opportunity to hear about how we should take inspiration from other devotees who serve Krishna nicely, right, and also be eager to serve him. See, Prithu Maharaj, he was concerned that he should not offend Mother Lakshmi, right, because he was also aspiring to do the same service like her. So in the 28th verse he very nicely says, "My dear Lord of the universe, the goddess of fortune Lakshmi is the mother of the universe. Yet I think that she may be angry with me because of my intruding upon her service and acting on that very platform to which she is so much attached. Yet I am hopeful that even though there is some misunderstanding, you will take my part, for you are very much inclined to the poor and you will always magnify even insignificant service unto you. Therefore, even though she becomes angry, I think that there is no harm for you because you are so self-sufficient that you can do without her. That's a prayer to the Lord. Right? So it's a very beautiful prayer showing us the transcendental loving exchange between the Lord and his devotees. So Puthu Maharaj is addressing Mother Lakshmi as Jagat Janani, Mother of the universe. Generally, Janani or Mother is very merciful even in the material world, right? So Mother Lakshmi being Jagat Jananyam is definitely embodiment of mercy. And also will be very pleased when all her children are engaging in service of Supreme Lord. And would definitely not consider Puthu Maharaj's service as intruding her service. That's why Prabhupada, in his very sweet purport to this verse, very nicely, he lists the innumerable services done by Mother Lakshmi, apart from massaging the Lord's lotus feet. Mother Lakshmi, Goddess of Fortune, is well known for always massaging the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. She is an ideal wife because she takes care of Lord Narayana in every detail. She takes care not only of his lotus feet, but of the household affairs of the Lord as well. She cooks nice food for him, fans him while he eats, smooths sandalwood pulp on his face, sets his bed, and sitting places in the right order. In this way, she always is engaged in the service of the Lord. And there is hardly any opportunity for any other devotee to intrude upon his the daily activities, right? So Prithu Maharaj was therefore almost certain that his intrusion into the service of Goddess of Fortune, it would irritate her and cause her to become angry with him. But why should Mother Lakshmi, the mother of the universe, be angry with an insignificant devotee like Prithu Maharaj? All this was not very likely. Yet, Prithu Maharaj, just for his personal protection, appealed to the Lord to take his part. So wonderful, right? So appealed to Jagadisha, the Lord of the universe. Prithu Maharaj says, Karoshi Falgyapi Uru Dina Vatsalaha. Karoshi, you consider Falgu, insignificant service. Api, even. Uru, very great. Dina Vatsala, favorably inclined to the poor. So Prithu Maharaj says, Lord, my Lord, because you are Dina Vatsala, you consider even insignificant service done unto you. So there are innumerable instances where how Lord accepts the service of individuals with varying capacities in a very equal manner. In Ramayana, we find how Lord Ram accepted service done by Hanumanji and other Vanaras, and that of the squirrel in building the Sedu Bandhan, right? Across the ocean to be the same service. So Hanumanji and other Vanaras could throw boulders, big stones, whereas squirrel could sprinkle only a few particles of sand. Yet both their services were equally accepted by the Lord. And also when Lord Krishna visited King Bahulashva and the Brahmana Shutadeva in Mithila at the same time, right? So both of them welcomed the Lord according to their capacity. There was a royal reception of the king's palace with all opulent cushion, chairs, nice flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, incense, new garments, ornaments, lambs, cows, bulls, so many things. On the other hand, the poor Brahmana Shutadeva could welcome the Lord and his associates only with mattresses, wooden planks, straw carpets, fruits, incense, scented water, scented clay, tulsi leaves, kusha straw, and lotus flowers. So according to his individual capacity. But the all-merciful Lord accepted both of them. So the important lesson we can learn from Prithu Maharaj is that we need not become overwhelmed by the wonderful service performed by other devotees and end up envying others or feeling inferior about our own selves. No need. See, our Lord is Dina Vatsala, Bhakta Vatsala, Bhavagrahi Janardana. All we need to do is simply serve him honestly to the best of our ability. So, Prithu Maharaj, after praying to Krishna for the benediction of hearing chanting Krishna Katha in the association of pure devotees and serving the Lord's lotus feet, he continues to glorify the effects of serving the Lord's lotus feet. He says in the verse which we are discussing, 29th verse today, where he says, great saintly persons who are always liberated takes to your devotional service because only by devotional service can one be relieved from the illusions of material existence. Oh my Lord, there is no reason for the liberated souls to take shelter at your lotus feet except that such souls are constantly thinking of your feet. My Guru Maharaj says that there is no substitute for pure devotional service. Also, bhakti is the means and the end. So to attain pure devotional service, one needs to engage in devotional service. No other shortcut for that. And by doing that, you will be able to transcend the three modes of middle nature. So the words sadhavo or satam in this 4:20:29 verse refers to saintly persons, and by doing padanusmaranad, constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, they were able to transcend the modes of middle nature. That's why Suta Goswami also says in Bhagavatam 1:2:25, previously all the great sages rendered service unto the personality of Godhead due to his existence above the three modes of middle nature. They worshipped him to become free from mental conditions and thus derive the ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. So all we need to do is simply follow the footsteps of these great sages. Engage ourselves in devotional service and thereby transcend the modes. That's why Krishna himself assures in Bhagavad Gita 14.26, Mam cha yo avvabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of middle nature and thus comes to the level of Brahma. So the purport, Prabhupada says, one should not be disturbed. One should not be disturbed by the activities of the modes of nature. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. So whatever we speak, remember, it has an impact on our consciousness. So it is always good to remember the concluding line of the translation to Srimad Bhagavatam 3:16-37. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? 3:16-37 Bhagavatam, the last list says, what purpose can we serve on his behalf, that is on Krishna's behalf, by deliberating on the subject, on anything else? So if the answer serves Krishna's purpose, then we can proceed. Otherwise, Prabhupada advises we have to transfer our consciousness to Krishna's activities or Bhakti Yoga. That is the only way to become free from mental conditions. So in the various wonderful prayers, in fact even the 30th also, up to 31st the prayers as well. Let us see the 30th prayer, where Prabhupada Maharaj says, my dear Lord, what you have said to your unalloyed devotee is certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. People in general, bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities, enamored by the results of their actions. So conditioned living entities in this middle world, they are all trapped by the influence of three modes of middle nature in various degrees. Right? So the Lord, as the Supreme Father, he gives everyone a chance to come back to him, back to Godhead. So in order to cater to those who are not ready to take up the process of pure devotional service directly, Vedas prescribe the path of dharma, artha, kama and moksha. But people who are less intelligent simply get stuck with karma kanda, jnana kanda activities prescribed in the Vedas. They miss to understand the real purpose of Vedas. That's why Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita 2.42 and 43, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, result on good birth, power, so forth. So being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. But Prithu Maharaj is therefore saying, we should not be allured by these flowery words of Vedas, which are teaching the ways of getting material benefits. Such benefits are going to keep us more and more entangled in the cycle of birth and death. That's why in this 4:20:30 he says, Prithu Maharaj, that the allurement of material benediction is another trap to entangle one in this material world. So he frankly tells the Lord that the Lord's offerings of benedictions in the form of material facilities are certainly causes of bewilderment. A pure devotee is not at all interested in bhukti or mukti. That's why in Damodarashtakam Fourth verse. What does Satyavamata Muni rightly pray? Varam deva moksham na moksha vadim va nachanyam vrinayam vareshadapiha idam teva purnata gopala balam sada me manasyavi rastam kimani. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, he's telling, Satyavati Muni, he's saying, Oh Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon, which may be obtained by executing 9 processes of bhakti. Oh Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours, as Bala Gopala in Vrindavana, may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is use to me for any other boon besides this? So let us follow the footsteps of these great souls, right? And understand the futility of material benedictions and seek the supreme benediction of being engaged in Lord's service always. So we heard from Prithu Maharaj, the material benedictions are all useless. So there is a wonderful last verse of Prithu Maharaj, absolutely wonderful. 4:20:31, right? Prithu Maharaj beautifully concludes his prayers to Lord Vishnu by seeking a very nice benediction. He says, Tvanmaya yadha janaisha khandito yadanyadashasta kritatmano buddha yatacharet balahitam pita swayam tata tvamevarhasina samyutam. Please hear the translation, very beautiful. This is a prayer we should always pray. He says, my Lord, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position. And out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship and love. Now the next line is beautiful. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you. Therefore, now Prithu Maharaj is praying to Lord Vishnu. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you. But as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son. So please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. This is the best benediction we can ask from Krishna, the Lord. See, many times we fail to realize what is really needed for us. See, with our puny brain, we foolishly desire and believe that we would become happy by getting some benefit here and there. We don't even bother to check if we ever deserve for it. See, sometimes a sick child might hanker for some eatable which is not good for his or her health. Just like how a caring parent, he will not provide the child all that it hankers for, but would provide only what is beneficial for the child. The Supreme Lord also gives only what he thinks is best for the devotee. So Prithu Maharaj requests the Lord never to provoke him anymore to ask for material benefits, but to just give whatever he thinks is best for him. See, this is a very special prayer because my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, he says that this was the prayer which he was meditating continuously when he was suffering from stroke in London, in the hospital in the year 2000. So when doctors and others around him, they were wondering whether Maharaj will be able to survive, as a pure devotee of the Lord, Maharaj just offered this prayer of Prithu Maharaj to the Supreme Lord and said that if the Lord so desires, he can take Maharaj at that time itself. Else, you could let him stay so that he could continue with his service. So being a surrendered soul, Maharaj did not force any prayer. Simply asked the Lord to do whatever he thought was best for him. And within a few weeks, by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord, Maharaj got himself discharged from the hospital, went straight to Bhaktivedanta Manor to take darshan of the Lordships. Later, Maharaj gave a wonderful class on this verse and went on for 10 more glorious years of preaching Bhagavatam all over the world. Srila Prabhupada He went to the West to preach Krishna consciousness as per the order of his spiritual master. So while traveling to America on board the Jaladuta ship, he composed Markine Bhagavata Dharma, wherein Prabhupada prays to the Lord to help him in his mission, if Lord likes. So he does not enforce that Lord should do what he wants, but just places an earnest request to the Lord, fully surrender to Lord's will. What does he say? He said, "Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like." See what Prabhupada is telling, I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. So the lesson we should remember from examples of these great souls, like the Guru, Prabhupada, Prithu Maharaj, that the Lord knows what is best for us. So we should let Him direct us in all situations. So my Guru Maharaj always says that in Bhagavatam, the prayers offered by devotees are very powerful. But when we study them, we should also study the verses before and after the prayers. He says the verses before the prayers will help us understand the mood of the devotee, the circumstance in which he or she is offering the prayers. The verses after the prayers will help us understand how Krishna reciprocated to the devotees after he heard those prayers. So it is important for us to meditate on those verses also. So in the next, so up to 31, Prithu Maharaj prayed. In 32 and 33, what does? So Maitra Muni continued by saying that the Lord, the seer of the universe, after hearing Prithu Maharaj's prayers, he addressed the king. What did he say? He said, "My dear king, may you always be blessed by engaging in my devotional service. Only by such purity of purpose, as you yourself very intelligently express, can one cross over the insurmountable illusory energy of Maya. My dear king, O protector of the citizens, henceforward be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world." So we can understand few points from this, two very good points. Number one, see what Krishna considers as the best benediction for us. Mai bhakti rastute, be blessed by engaging in my devotional service. So to be engaged in Krishna's service is the greatest fortune in our life. See, many a times we fail to realize the value of this, right? And take the service opportunities for granted. But as Krishna himself says, sincerely engage in Krishna's service is the only way for us to overcome the insurmountable illusion energy. See, losing taste for service, forgetfulness of Krishna, these are the greatest misfortune in life. The second point is, Tvam kuru mayadishtam aparamattah. Aparamata. Be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. So Krishna assured Prithu Maharaj that simply by following his instructions, there will always be good fortune for him. So whatever Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, just follow. And my Guru Maharaj also insists that obedience is the greatest remembrance of Krishna. Obedience to whoever, the elders and everything, is the greatest remembrance of Krishna. And that obedience will result in our progress in devotional service. On the other hand, disobedience will lead to destruction. So best examples are Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas always obeyed Krishna and his devotees. So they were successful in all their endeavors. On the other hand, Kauravas not only disobeyed Krishna and his devotees, but were also misguided by Shakuni, etc. All these people, right? So ultimately all of them were destroyed. So Maitra Muni, while narrating the pastimes of Prithu Maharaj, goes on to say how the Supreme Personality of Godhead amply appreciated the meaningful prayers of Maharaj Prithu. And after being properly worshipped by the king, the Lord blessed him and decided to depart. To see, simply by repeating the prayers offered by such great souls like Prithu Maharaj, Kunti Maharani, Bhishmadev, sincerely attempting to follow their footsteps, we can please Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhadaji, for this opportunity to glorify the Lord. Hare Krishna. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Mancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhaya patitanam pavanebhya Vaishnav. Anantakoti Vaishnav. Hare Krishna. If you have anything, any comments to make, please go. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandapanam.
Hare Krishna, Gautam. Hare Krishna.
Thanks for a very wonderful class, Prabhuji. It was very enlivening, and seems like we're hearing it's good, Prabhu, but applying these things in practical life seems very difficult. Like remembering, thinking always of Krishna. These all. So how can one improve in this, Prabhu? Just by hearing one can improve, or how exactly? What can you help me?
Your question is very nice. See, you have been hearing not only my this lectures, so many lectures you might be hearing, right? Means always you will feel like, let me hear. I want to know more and more about Krishna. That hankering for hearing more and more about Krishna, that itself will cleanse all the anarthas. So automatically you will be putting into practice. See, putting into practice, for example, if you are getting angry, right? So you want to stop that anger. Because by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam put in back means that you should not get angry, right? No envy, no jealousy should be there. But it is there. But for example, you say, from today I will not get angry. I've heard about this in this class. You should not get angry. It's not good. So okay, I will stop getting angry. Immediately it will not stop. It will be there, continuing still. But since before coming to Krishna consciousness, how you are behaving, how you are reacting, all those things, and now maybe how many years you are there, that means you are being associated with devotees, you are hearing, and you will of course definitely you will be remembering what was told in that class. See, that is the point. No, once you hear the class, you might be noting down some points and meditating on them. Immediately after class, you are not closing it and starting to talk something else. You are still thinking about it, and maybe you ask, like you are asking questions to get to know how to apply in practice. This itself is a great good thing. That itself is Krishna is facilitating you to hear, then remember, right? How to put into practice. It's very easy. See, we have the knowledge to get up in the morning for Mangalati is very important. This knowledge we have. But what is the use of that knowledge when you don't get up for Mangalati? So you have to force yourself, right? You know, if I get up for Mangalati, this is the benefit, so Krishna will be pleased, all that. So then you have to get up actually. So knowledge itself is not enough. You have to sometimes force yourself. So you have the benefit. In the Kali Yuga, it is not like benefits only. What will I get if I do this thing, right? So okay, take it here. But here also you will get. But ultimately the Vaishnavas and the pure devotees, they don't want anything else. They only want to always remember Krishna and just serve him, just like Prithu Maharaj. He didn't want to have millions of ears to hear, millions of tongues to chant. We have one tongue and 2 years. With this also we don't want to hear, we don't want to chant, right? So more and more, we are definitely, if we relate all these things till now, whatever we have heard, since we took up Krishna consciousness, definitely changes is there. We are definitely progressing. But still you are hankering, Prabhu, how can I do it? That's a good thing to hanker for that. So you will definitely, it will be possible, Prabhu. And you are doing it, Prabhu. So just more and more, chanting more sincerely, attentively, more associating with devotees and discussing. See, devotees association means, if that association makes you think of Krishna more and more, that is devotee association. Other than that, if the association is only for thinking of something else other than Krishna, then that is not, even in the devotee congregation, then it is not devotee association. So these are all things, small things we can. So whatever makes you think about Krishna, that is the best thing. I hope it was useful, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna, Dandapanam. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji, for a
Guruji.
wonderful class, Prabhuji. And I thank Krishna for giving me little discipline, at least to have the interest in associating with all exalted devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mother. Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We have
Mother.
taken one day. We have given the wonderful points to share how to increase the devotion through the bhakti by chanting and listening regularly to the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. That, and you also explained about the beautiful point how Prabhupada, once when he was admitted in London hospital, and he was hoping for that, and he has lived
Actually, my Guru
by.
Maharaj, actually, it's not
Prabhuji's
Prabhupada.
Oh,
Guruji.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj. And miraculously, he was discharged within few days and he rendered his service for next 10 years. This is wonderful service which he has rendered to God. And this all happens only through the good devotion and bhakti. And you have to learn at least a few points how to increase this bhakti and devotion by chanting and listening to Bhagavatam. That's wonderful point you have explained. And we have to adapt it without any this way. Yeah.
Thank you, Mother.
Now this class,
Prabhuji,
Guruji, thank you.
Prabhuji, which verse did Maharaj offer to Krishna on in the hospital?
This one
This
was a
was
Guru Maharaj, 420, 31. 31, the last, that is the last prayer of
ah
Guru Maharaj.
okay, Prabhuji. I will read that, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Actually, this is almost similar to the 2.7 Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is telling, no, I am confused, I am bewildered.
Parpanya dosho
So please
Yeah,
instruct me what is
that's
beneficial to me. So same thing Purta Maharaj is also telling here.
Okay, I'll read it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
4.20, Guruji. Which one? 4.20.
Fourth canto, we are
Yeah.
discussing fourth canto, 20th chapter. This also,
Okay.
29 we discussed. 31st verse, 31st is the
31st
last
verse.
verse of Purta Maharaj. Purta Maharaj
Okay.
prayers are from 420, 23 up to
Okay.
31. These are the
Okay.
verses Purta Maharaj is praying to Krishna. That's why in
Okay.
32, 33 Krishna is replying. So
Okay,
this is
Guruji.
the
Thank you.
method of
Yeah.
studying Bhagavad Gita is like, for example, the prayers. Before the prayers, the mood of the person who is praying, like Purta Maharaj is praying, all those
Yeah.
prayers are there. So after prayers, what Krishna is reciprocating. This is how we can understand the whole situation and try to imply in our life.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let me stop here. Thank you, Prabhuji's Matajis, for this opportunity to glorify the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.